you've listened to me and you've adopted this mindset, you're going to get rich real quick. That is unfortunate because I want you to first master yourself. And it's going to take you a year and a half, 2 years really to do that. It ain't this 30 days to replace a bad habit. Fuck that. Let me tell you something. If it was that easy, I would have been a whole lot better sooner. This is something totally different. You have never done anything like this, ever, ever. Because as much as other people may troll me because I don't do what they want me to do, dance for them the way they want me to dance, to the tune they want to play, fuck them. You do what I do. That's all I'm asking you to do. And it costs you nothing. All you gotta do is put your calls out there live. Where it should go, where it shouldn't go. But you have to know where your limitations are. Stop. You make money? What's enough? What is your rent payment? What is your mortgage payment each month? That's where you should be focusing. If I could just get half of that a month. Listen, listen, folks, nobody's writing a fucking book about this. Nobody's going to do a teaching series like that. I did. And you wonder why this industry's plagued with so many failures. Because your expectations are too high. You want Olympic gold results on every fucking trade. And that's not realistic, folks. And you expect it to be daily. And that's not realistic either. The flavor of the month right now is I want to make $100,000 a month. That's certainly commendable if you can obtain that. But is it realistic for me as an educator or you as a new student to think that you can walk out here in your first year doing that? I never do that kind of fucking shit. I don't ever promote some unrealistic threshold that you should strive for. 6% a month is going to be hard for you in the beginning. So what happens if you only make 1% a month? Is that failure? Fuck no. Some of you don't know math. Like you lose sight, like you forget rudimentary math. You're all wanting to get these funded accounts. I want to be funded to 150,000. Unless it's 150,000, it's not worth my time. Are you out of your fucking mind? Like if you literally had any equity, you can trade micro and build that up. It's going to take you more time. I'm not going to argue that. It's going to take you more time. But it doesn't matter if you only get a $10,000 funded account. If that's what you get, that's what you get. You can work with that. And don't fall into, I'm $2 million funded. Okay. It's become a measuring contest. Like we're all pulling our dicks out to see who's got the longest one. I'm going to sit over here in my lane and say, none of you motherfuckers are going to be as precise as me. So measure up. I don't need to be on anybody's leaderboard. I don't need to do any of that stuff. So don't get caught up in all that. You're here to learn how to make money. That's it. That is it. There's nothing else to this industry except for that. And have fun doing it. Control risk and have fun doing it. Be passionate about it. But you also have to know where you're going to pull the plug and say, I'm done. I've made enough for today. I fulfilled my objective. You have to have goals. There's people out there going to say, don't fucking have goals. Have goals. You have to know what it's likely to reach for, because here's what's going to happen if you don't. You're going to be impulsive. You're going to chase price. You're going to react to price instead of anticipating price. I can't fucking stand it. I can't fucking stand it. When I see and hear people say, don't have goals or expectations in the marketplace where it's going to go. How the fuck are you going to fucking trade? How are you going to fucking trade? Seriously. You're going to put a trade on and not have an expectation where it's going to go? How the fuck does that even make sense? Don't have goals. You got to know where it's going. What conviction are you placing behind the idea that you're incurring risk on if you don't have a fucking goal? If you don't know where the market's going to go next, reasonably, How could you possibly expect to be profitable? You might as well just flip a fucking quarter. Heads you're buying, tails you're selling, right? Some of you newer folks like this guy just lost his fucking mind. No, I'm absolutely passionate about what I'm doing and what I'm teaching, and I see this nonsensical bullshit promoted online. It should be fucking criminal. You should be fucking penalized for shit like that. How else could you possibly measure progress, understanding, and learning if you don't know where the market's going to go next? Why are you pushing that fucking button? Why are you inviting monetary loss, emotional distress, stress, anxiety? You're inviting that on the basis of what? A fucking indicator that said it's overbought? Who says it's fucking overbought? That squiggly ass fucking line only crunched numbers back 14 bars. Who gives a fuck? 14 bars on a weekly range is nothing. When the market's going to reprice higher on a level that's established on a weekly time frame, your overbought and bearish divergences aren't going to mean shit. It's just going to keep repricing, and you're going to get mad. But my indicator, but my teacher said, this indicator said it's going to go down. The divergence is there. Fuck that divergence. It's not there. You're right. It's not there. The algorithm doesn't give a fuck about the indicator. It doesn't even realize it's even there. It's not calculating anything on your indicator bullshit. Your harmonic fucking triangles and bullshit you layer atop your charts. None of that shit matters. None of it. So you have to know when you're going to do a full stop. Pull out all the stops, you're done for the day. You're done listening to ICT. You're done listening to the bullshit. You're done trading. You have to have limitations and thresholds that you're not going to cross. That discipline has to be forged early on and continuously honed in this lifestyle because it's easy to get caught up in the mania. Thinking you know more than you really did. I fell victim to that as a 20-year-old. I thought I had everything fucking figured out. And then the market showed me I knew shit. Fuck all. I knew nothing. And I arm wrestled it. Oh, yeah? You want to blow that account? Well, watch what I do with this fucking account. Oh, yeah, you did great. You just fucking lost that one twice as fast. Beautifully done. Let's see if you can do it again. And I did. Did it deter me? Fuck no. Because if they took it from me, that means that they made that money. And I was going to be on that side. That's the side of the game I was going to be on. So when you lose, do you take that as a personal defeat? And you're like, fuck, I'm going to end up quitting this soon. I don't. I'm like, okay, that was a good move on the chessboard, but I still have pieces. I'm taking your shit. That's the way I think. That's the way I think about this. Every move on a chessboard, sometimes you're going to lose a piece. That's just the way it is. But as long as you still have pieces on the chessboard, the game's still on. But many of you don't regard the level of risk. And you think, okay, well, I lost a little bit there. My daily max loss is, I'm only halfway there. I just can't go home with a losing trade. I got to get it back. Let me just go in there and try to do it one more time. I won't use a stop loss this time because I'll be worried about getting stopped out if I put a stop loss. So therefore, let me go in there and just do it without stop loss, and I'll do it with 3 times the leverage I just lost on, because then I only need a small little piece. I don't even have to be much correct in terms of where it's going to go now, because I'm doing 3 times the leverage. And then you shit yourself. Your maximum loss is hit, you lost your funded account, or you blew your account. What are you going to feel like when that happens? That's a hard pill to swallow because it's completely avoidable. As soon as you think that you got to fix it, okay, listen to me. I picked up a rule from Larry Williams as a younger man. It really is so true. When I was coming up as a trader in my 20s, in 1993, when I was going in with a little bit more understanding, but still knowing nothing. I felt that every time when I was right and I was in positions that were making profit, and they were unrealized profits, but they were in positions that were paying me, my increase would be gone, and I was holding them overnight. So I was trying to be a swing trader then. I wasn't day trading initially. So I'd put a trade on, and I'd have to wait in agony all day long while I was working, worrying about every fluctuation of price, and I'm panicking all day long, constant panic. It's going to turn on me. It's going to turn on me. It's going to turn on me. No, I had no idea what I was doing. When I was making money, then I hadn't closed the trade yet. As soon as I grabbed my calculator, and on the road when I was delivering candy and soda machines and stuff, that's what I was doing at the time. I had a little Casio calculator watch. Back then, it was a big deal. And I would pull up on the calculator, say, okay, I got this many contracts, and if it goes here, I'm already showing the early signs of I should be getting out right now. And Larry Williams in 1995 made a course. I mean, you hear me talk about this a lot, but it absolutely is true. He says you get this King Kong feeling, like you got it all figured out and you're going to make so much more money. You don't stick to your trade goal. Now it's become a long-term position trade. You're gonna hold on to this thing for a year now. Originally, it was just going to be like a 4-day trade. Now it's a long-term position IRA trade. Okay, you're going to retire on this one, and you think you're going to be making so much more money, and you start calculating all this shit. If it goes up 2 more cents, man, wheat's going to kill it for me. I'm going to crush it. That's the very moment. That's the very moment, that King Kong feeling, that moment. That is the surest sign that you should close your fucking trade and be happy with it. And a lot of that is how I do my targets today. So when I'm in a move, I know what it should do. If it's a perfect centerfold trade, it should do this level. And then what I do now is I cope with this desire to be perfect by saying, if I just get 80% of the move and I do that consistently more times than I lose, I have trained myself to accept that as above average, which it is. But to me, I wrestle with that. In my mind, in my subconscious, I'm constantly trying to manifest perfection. In my entries and my approach to getting into a move, you're going to see that signature is there because I worked very hard to overcome fear, which is what my son Cameron has now. He wants to trade. He wants to do well. He wants to impress dad. But I'm trying to tell him, you don't impress me. You make fucking money. You follow the rules and you make money. You control risk and you make money. That's it. But I was afraid in the beginning of taking trades. I was afraid to get in. I just was scared. I learned how to be a futures trader, I thought. And with no experience, I went into options and lost my fucking ass in the first trade overnight. So impulsiveness, knowing where the stops are, where's the thresholds for you? Are you going to be influenced by greed? Are you going to allow greed to be a factor in your decision-making process? You have to say when you're going to stop. When are you going to say no more? Whether it be profitable, whether it be studying, whether it be taking a loss. You have to place those limitations in and you have to stick to them. That's forging discipline. If you don't do that, your broker's not going to do it for you. I can't do it for you. Your trading partner in life, they're not going to do it for you. You have to be responsible with that. And how much are you going to risk? This is the part that everybody loses their ass on. They think that, they can take big risks to fix their problems in their drawdown. And then all of a sudden it makes it worse and compounds it. And they blow their account, lose their funded account, and it wrecks them emotionally, psychologically. And that barrier is a long-term loss. That's the part of trading that isn't talked about enough.